should be coming back up now. I'll get a Firefox. So that looks okay. The stream seems to be back up. I just can't see chat or anything now. Let me just pull up Twitch. Get that off your screen. Here we go, Twitch. Thank you. Pardon? What on earth was that? Okay, I just had a random thing happen, which was a bit weird. Make sure we're on. Yeah, we're live. That's fine. Stream health looks okay. Yeah, that's okay, that's fine. So, we're back. We are back. We're back up and live. Let's continue. Okay, this should be part 2 here. So, part 2. Update you. Thank you. And that's okay there. Oh, welcome back, everybody. Where's the chat? Ah, found the chat. There we go. I've got chat up now. There it is. You see? Found it. Let's get code. Code. Let's have a look at our code. And I can get everything else operational. So this is our game, isn't it big? It's huge. I'm looking at today's code, which is going to be core. No. Entity. No. Application. No. Game. No. Amber. Maths. There it is. Dice. That's what I'm doing. So it's not in the game, it's actually in the library. Here we go. So this is what I'm programming. This is what I was talking about. So this is the basics on how you roll the dice. Those are the basic 2 functions there is for it. Initialize the dice and roll the dice. That's all the 2 things that you need. Or supposedly you might need. But there is more. There's at least another 2 functions. And what's happening here? Okay, that one's looking okay. Put that down. I don't like setting up on the fly like this. So, my name's Blaze. Hello there, everybody. And we're going to do the rest of me dice. Just everything wants updating. That's alright. Okay, let's pull up the rest of the information on my system. Here it comes. I think we're set up now. Right. Yes, we are. Excellent. Let's do it. Let's get this finished. Using a 3 6-sided dice system, we're going to have a critical success and a critical failure system. Based on what I've just said. Biased, variation, and result. I'm glad I got that off my chest anyway. Let's go up the screen a bit. Let's get some programming done. I've been wanting to finish this for ages. So we're going to be using statics, aren't we? So we can just access this from anywhere. So let's use a static. Get you out of the way. Bool. And we're going to do critical success. If there's anything you want me to cover that's got nothing to do with random numbers and dice, or if there's anything about game programming that you want to ask me about, please feel free, go ahead. I don't mind being sidetracked. In fact, that's the whole point of this. So we'll need an integer, which is the effective skill. That's a skill with all modifications added to it. Okay, that is what I call an effective skill. Not skill, but effective. Okay, especially if you're doing this kind of game. And of course, we need to know what the dice roll was. So that's all we're going to really need to know. Nice, easy function. Nice, easy function. We'll need a bool, obviously, because that's what we'll be returning. I'll call it ret, or result. So what we're measuring is there a critical success or not. So it's going to be a true or false idea, because that's the result part based on bias and variation. Bias is given by 3d6 and the variation is going to be given by what I type for this part of the algorithm. So false. We'll start off at, what am I typing? God knows. Right, let's get back into C++ instead of me trying to work out how to use my brain. Right, I'm going to have a definitive critical success. Okay? And on a 3 to 18 system, 3 6-sided dice, my crit is going to be 4, which is very, very low. Try getting a 3 on 3 6-sided dice, because I've got a horrible feeling I'm going to be using less than. Okay. Let's see. First of all, we've got to standardize the effective skill, because with modifiers, weird things can happen. So let's do that. So standardization we'll do first. Standardization. Yeah? Is that a word? No. Standardize the skill levels. Because we can't go too far up, and obviously we can't go too far down. So we have to check that the effective skill is within a certain range. Because if it isn't, nothing will work. So, if effective skill is greater than 20, then effective skill equals 20. It's a simple idea. Keep it simple now. Why am I not allowed to do an if statement like that? Because we didn't put semicolon after that. That's why. Because I'm a muppet. If, you know, I just wish I could code in C++. It'd be really great if I could. Is less than, so we're just making our boundaries 3. And then effective skill equals 3, I guess. There we go. And the last thing we want to do is standardize. Oh no, we can check, can't we? Yeah, we can start doing our checks. We've got that bit standardized. So now check for results. Check for results. That's the next bit. And this is basically a horrible thing to write. So I'm going to do it longhand instead of the shorthand version. I'm going to use brackets and everything to do it properly. So if the dice roll is equal to 18, then our result equals true and will always equal true. 18 is always, 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 always. You roll 3 dice and you score 18, it's always a critical success. Okay, now we start on the fun. Else, if, let's see how we're going to do this. We'll need 2 brackets for this. Dice roll equals 17. We'll start at, obviously. Dice roll is equal to 17. And I'll put a bracket up so it won't complain. Effective skill have I done this right? Nope. I'm doing this wrong. I'm looking at critical success. That line's not needed. It doesn't matter. No, I'm doing this completely wrong. I can use an algorithm as long as the effective skill doesn't go over 20. Okay. Yeah, let's try an algorithm. I don't like what I'm doing. Sorry. I'm like that. I'll look at something and think, doesn't look right. That looks more like what I want to write for the other one. Maybe. We'll see. So if effective skill equals 20, then we need to start at 14. Yeah. Is greater than, actually it's 15, is it? Yeah, we need to start at 15, so it's greater than 14. If I'm going to do this as an algorithm, I can do it that way. So crit is 4. So what I can do here is increase the crit chance if the effective skill is 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 or 20. So your critical chance has a variation. This is where we want to put this variation in that I've been talking about. So your critical chance moves. Yeah, effective skill, and we'll just minus 14 off that. Yeah, that'll work. How am I going to show how that works? Or how am I going to notate that? Well, we'll see when we get to it. We'll notate it in a minute or two. So, if what that basically means, we can get a result now. We've done our algorithm. So, if the dice roll, whoops, is less than or equal to crit, because crit has a variance, then result equals true. And then just return result, isn't it? That's it. I'm happy with that. Does that work? Does that work? Where's my coffee? Yes, it does. So this calculates if a crit success has been rolled. Okay. The effects for critical success are whatever you want them to be. That goes into the logic part. This is just to calculate a critical success rolled. So initial result value set no, this is storage. So let's get it right. Storage of initial result value, if I could type. Storage. This enables us to mess around with the algorithm. We can move the critical success. We could move up and down this 14. As long as those two equal each other, it's absolutely fine. That's done on purpose. Yeah, we're alright with that. I prefer a bit more spacing in these, actually. I must admit, I don't like the way it's all grouping up here. Like nastily. So I can't read it properly. My vision's blurred at the best of times. Can we just get rid of the brackets a minute? Right, storage. For the crit threshold value. That's better. Threshold. Yes, I like that word. And I like the word storage with a T in it. Yeah, that's okay there. Now, standardize the skill levels. Okay, what I'll do is I'll take that from there. Because that's exactly what I meant to write anyway, I suppose. Cut you and pop you to here. Check for results. That's not that part. That's here. It's this bit in the middle I'm going to have problems with, isn't it? How am I going to explain that? So what does that do? That moves the bar depending on skill. So what it does is it moves the threshold relative to effective skill. That's what it does. So what you do is you say if the effective skill is high, in other words, somebody is like a master or a grandmaster of a skill, then they have a better chance of critical success, which makes sense. You would expect somebody who is not as good to have less chance of getting a critical success, and that's how that is measured. And so what that does then is it moves the threshold relative to high skill, we'll call it. Because on, again, a 15, 16, 17 or 18, yeah, is not impossible. You know, but to get that kind of critical plus, you know, that skill level, I mean, it's not impossible to get that. But the skill levels in the game do go up to 21, so I have to put in standardization here to make sure that when we do an effective skill minus 14, it still falls within the 20 boundary. I know that for a fact because 3d6 is a replacement for a 20-sided die. If you didn't know, it's true. On probabilities and stuff like that, trust me, it is. I'm not going to go into that. Oh gosh, sorry, I'm not reading chat. That looks like way too much commenting to me. Really? Then you're on the wrong channel. Min on line 54. Sorry, I'm not. Because I don't take shortcuts on the Y, not just var equals cond. That's correct. We add naught. Absolutely. It isn't a no operation because you've done a check. It would be a no operation if the if statement didn't happen. So the 0 result doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. But there you go. Yeah, the way you actually code is up to you. Don't ask me why I code in this way or make as many comments because it's sorry. No, I'm not ignoring you. Shout out to Nikito97. Hiya. He's chatting, and I'm just going through the chat. I had to go backwards through the chat because stupid me forgot to look at it earlier. Right, okay, let's address those things straight off. It looks like too much commenting. No, you can never have too much commenting. You should comment every single line. Every single variable should have a reason. The way you actually implement your code and write it out is up to you. If you want to shorten the code down into one line, feel free. I don't mind. The reason I write it this way is so I can add the comments. So as you can see here, there's a static void initialized dice, but srand is split down into all its minute parts and it's all commented. So you know exactly what's going on here. It's for people who don't know how dice work, I suppose, and it's for people coming up who want to modify this later or rewrite it into one line. You can do, doesn't bother me. So yeah, you're quite right, there is a 0 on that line, but it doesn't matter because it's an if statement. The no operation can't happen. It's one of those weird things about if statements. Don't worry about it. Even if it's 0. All if statements have a 0 result. So they have either true or false. There we go. What does that do? That just returns the result. Return the result to caller. There we go. That's lovely. That's looking better. Yeah. So no, I'm not ignoring you. Sorry about that. If anybody wants to put anything in the chat, please do so, and I will now do a better job of monitoring chat. That was my bad. My bad indeed. Let me just make that bigger. I can't actually see. Can I make the... timestamps, please? Yeah. Pop out, yeah. At what point can I actually get to... make the chat bigger? You can't hear. Okay. I'm going to look into that. That's silly. What does that do? Oh, that just puts users in chat. Okay. Alright. No problem. There we go. Is that time already? You're joking me. Wow. Let's get on with this. I've got another function to write, yeah? Sorry. So, no, I'm not ignoring you. I don't ignore anybody, ever. Next one is going to be a static bool critical failure, obviously. So, static bool, and we will do critical failure. I'm not saying that what I write is correct, by the way. I better warn you right now. It's just like 30 years of experience of writing this rubbish. No, it isn't. That's an unfair statement. It's more like 30 years trying to learn how to write this rubbish. I mean, trying to. So we'll do this one here. Int, exactly the same again. So it's int effective skill. Nothing to surprise us here. And int. I don't, if you've been on the internet and you've been like watching stuff on YouTube and you're watching people doing programming or explaining programming and they're not making any notes, stop watching them, please. Bad habit. Very bad habit to get into. Always, always, always annotate everything. And I can show you why quite easily. Which one is it? No, I better not. No, I won't. I won't. I'm not going to get distracted. I know it's a rant if I get distracted. Dice roll. Okay. Sorry. It would be a rant. Bool. Exactly the same as before. Result equals false. So critical failure, result equals false. Good place to start. Easy now. There we go. I've already got that one marked up. Right. We don't need a crit value because it's just going to be an above. What we need to do though is calculate a threshold like we did here. Moves the threshold. We need to make an algorithm for that. So this is going to be interesting to see if I can do it or not. Okay, let's do that line again. That one. Because that's a good line to have in anywhere. I think we'll standardize them so that we are doing the same thing each time. If we don't use standardization like that, things can go a bit wobbly, shall we say. In this one, yes, we do need to know if the effective skill is less than 3. Because we are going for failure. So it's less than 3. And we are going to standardize it. Yeah, I think we better had. Otherwise it could be unfortunate for people who accidentally get modifiers at like -6 modifier and they've only got a 6 skill. That would be unfortunate. That would be an auto-critical failure virtually. So we can't have that. We have to standardize. again. It's the same one. Standardize the high end and standardize the low end. There we go. That's lovely. That's starting to make sense. I'm being lazy with my if statements again as well. I'm really not happy about doing it this way. I might break these down into bracketed. I'm not happy about that. That's me being lazy. We'll see how it looks at the end of it. Okay, so we've standardized, and now we can have an auto critical failure on a dice roll of 18. So if dice roll is equal to 18. Can we have higher than 18 on 3d6? No, we can't. Good. So 18. Then we're going to have an automatic critical failure. So that's going to be an easy one to do. That's just result equals true. Basically what I'm using is a system where you have to roll under. 3d6 system, okay, where we have to get rid of that, to roll under our skill. Okay, that was not made obvious. It could have been a skill system where you have to get greater than. And there are skill systems like that in role-playing games, which is fine. Ah, bless. I think I've upset Nikki to 97, sorry. Yikes. I'm not here to upset people. I'm here to try and do my game programming. Right, else. And this is where it gets a bit doolally. If dice roll is equal to 17, I need brackets. Yeah, I need brackets. I want some ands. So that we can open more brackets. Yeah, I like more brackets. Need more brackets. There's a song about that. Effective skill. Oh dear, I'm not taking this seriously today, am I? I'm having a good day actually today. If you look at part 1, it was all about statistics and why I'm using this system. And now I'm actually programming it. It's wonderful. Effective skill is less than 16. Yeah. Is that correct? Yeah, it says. Yeah, messed up. It doesn't matter. Messing up my brackets again. What we're going to do here. Result equals true again. Wait for the test. You'll see how it works then. It's actually quite an interesting thing. Did I do something wrong? Okay, you expected a semicolon. What have I done wrong? Else, if. Thank you. At least it knew. It didn't give me the correct response. It should have expected an if. Strange thing. Okay, so we've got now effective skill down to 16. What about the rest? Else if. this is going to be a bit weird. Dice roll. I'm making this up as I go along. No, I'm not. Is going to be greater than or equal to effective skill plus 10. The 3 plus 10 is 13. Yeah, effective skill plus 10. Okay. That sounds a bit low. It's correct. Result. I'm not happy with this part. Any thoughts, anybody? Result equals true. I'm not sure if that's balanced. I've put greater than or equal to instead of just greater than. You see, if I put greater than, it's 14, and that comes back to me 14 here. If I put the equal to, it's 13. Have I made a mistake? Yeah, I think that's a mistake. That I don't think we really want that greater than. Let's try it with greater than. Let's try that first. So what I'm doing here is, okay. Let's note this and try and explain it. So I'll take it up to the end. It doesn't matter where I put it. Check for auto. I'll just call it failure. Oh no, crit failure. So that's automatic crit failure. And then move threshold. So move threshold by skill. And then we now have a generic catch all other crit failures. There we go. Yeah, happy with that. Would help though if I actually return the result. And that's just, I don't know why I bothered with this one. But I've got to. Those are the rules that I started with. And these are the rules I will stick to. There we go. It's looking good. I don't like it like that. That's written across. Right, I'm expanding. No, I'm not. No, I'm not, because it's blocking in. It's pretty obvious what... Is it obvious what I'm doing for critical success and critical failure? Or has anybody got any doubts about what I'm doing? Okay. No, they haven't. Test it. Test it, test it, many lines we got down the screen? Well, we can easily fit 20. 30 maybe. 40 at most. Let's do 40. Control, oops, sorry. Control S to save. So dice is now up and running. It's dice.h, don't need to recompile. Yeah, even though it's in a different library. No, you don't need to recompile. Go over to game. It's only a header file. Main. I want to test this out and see whether it will work or not. Oh right, we've got a game application going. We have no test system. The answer is yes, we do. Right. Why did that just disappear? That was weird. Return 0. And we'll give ourselves a test area. There we go. And let's give ourselves a dice to play with. And it's in where is it? Maths. So it's in Amber Maths. There it is. There we go. Let's have that. Oops. That. So what I'm going to do is a for next loop. I said 40, didn't I? Yeah. For int count equals 0 semicolon. Count is less than, we'll do 40. We'll roll 40 times. The more you can do it, the better the variation, obviously. So what do we need? A dice roll, don't we? So I need an int for dice roll. No, I'll just call it int dice. Int crit, no, bool crit success. Yep. And bool crit failure. I'm just overdoing it. I could use the same bool, couldn't I? Yeah, you just use one bool. Don't need two. Okay. Right, okay, I've got it in my mind now. We're getting there, we're getting there. Tab these over. Right. So first of all, we want to roll the dice. No, I'll do it in full. I don't mind. So dice equals, oh no we don't, we need to initialize, don't we? So we need to do that here. So Amber maths dice initialize dice. I think you're done. next. Dice equals Amber maths dice. Oops, did that wrong. Dice. Roll dice. And we'll have a 3d6. That'll do. Right, so crit equals false. Oh no. So what we'll do is a printf at this point. And we'll say that dice roll equals %d. No, it's a %d. Space, colon, space. That's it. Comma. We'll use dice. Of course. There we go. Again, I'm writing across instead of down because this is a test area, which will not have any notes, by the way. This will be deleted after. So, crit is a bool. So if we don't need crit as a bool, we don't need it at all. Just realised I can use it directly because I've got a boolean coming back to me. As long as I've got a boolean coming back, I can do it directly. So Amber colon Amber maths colon dice colon blah, 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 blah. We'll do crit success first. Crit success. Open brackets. Effective skill. I'll choose 11. Comma. And you want your dice rolls. That's dice. So if that happens, then all I'm going to do is printf critical success. Yeah. And I can have the return character on now. Don't need to put any values out, do we? Nope. Okay. And if open brackets Amber colon Amber maths colon dice colon critical failure. Open brackets, int effective skill has to be the same. Said 11, didn't I? My bad. Always initialize. 11. That is now skill. Be skill, comma, dice. Then we will printf. Very, very simple test procedures that I use because there's no point in making complicated stuff, is there? Sorry, I can't see what I did on the last one. Thank you. Space. Critical failure. me trying to work out something that isn't right. Okay. Right, I'm going to do something different here. Decided. If I don't, spacing's going to go to hell. I'm going to use continue. What that does is it sends it back to the to the 4 readout back to the top to do the next count because I don't want it to carry on down here. So that's the same here. I don't want you to carry on. You'll see why in a second. Continue. And then here, so we've got the dice roll, critical success, critical failure, which is what we're testing, and that's it. So here it's just a printf. Printf, inverted commas, \n. That's it. That's the last thing that we do, because we didn't include it on there. So these will go on the same line. And then return, carriage return afterwards. Okay, that's structured okay. Simple enough. I've missed something. That. It's still bleeding a broken heart at me. Hold on a minute. Why is it expecting another bracket? Bracket? Are you taking the Michael? Why is there another bracket? Have I missed one somewhere? Yeah, there. There you go. All good. That looks fine and dandy. Let's see what it does. There we go. 40. Out of 40, we get 1 critical success at 4 and 1 critical failure at 17. Okay. So that's with a skill of 11. That's not too bad. Just rerun. Got to make sure that we can get one without. Yes, we did it. Thank God. Yeah, it works. On average, you're not expecting to get critical successes or critical failures at all if you have an average skill. You should mainly get success rolls, and that's the whole point to it. So that's why I want to test it as many as possible. Yeah, critical success, critical failure, and they're happening evenly. I'd need to do it 1,000 times and count successes and failures, wouldn't I? Or 10,000 times. I can do that. It's a very boring test. Right, so... Yeah, right, okay. Different test. The cat just fell off the table. What on earth happened there? The cat sneezed and literally just fell off the table, crashing into everything. Hope he hasn't broken that. Oh no. Oh well, I suppose I'll find out later. Yeah. I think I was trying to delete something and not then delete something. Alright. Get rid of the printf statements. Because that'll slow it down. 40. 1, 2, 3. Here, I want... We'll keep skill. We'll keep dice. But I want... success equals 0. And we'll make that an int. And I'll also have fail. Equals 0. Yeah, I'm doing this 40,000 times. Dice equals 3d6. Skill, I'm not changing. All I'm going to do is crit success. Is success plus plus. And this one is fail plus plus. Where we're having the print here. I don't think we need that. There. Okay. Right, no printf. And what I'm just going to do is just do a printf at the end here. Int attempts equals 40123 semicolon. So I've got control over that. In case this takes too long. So what do we want to print? Number of attempts equals %d. Then it is number of successes equals whatever %d colon, and number of fails equals %d. That's just \n. So that's our results turnout. So we'll start it at 1,000. See how long it takes. And then we'll ramp it up. Yeah, okay. Okay. I'll just run that. Whoops. Number of attempts 5, 5, and some stupid number because we messed up. Matching int argument. That's right, it does. Press continue. Do, do, dum, do. How are we doing? That's okay. That might do a bit better. There we go. So success was 17, fails was 8. That's a 1.7% chance of success. And a 0, 0. That's a bit off. Okay. It's not right. So I'm going to add another 0. Got to balance it. Can't just, you know, leave it in the state where, oh, now they are better equalled, but more fails. Okay. Let's put another 0 in. Remember, it's 3d6. So the percentages should average out. 1861 to 1794. Is that too much of a difference? That's biased towards success. Try it again. Wow. That's spot on. That's the kind of result I'm looking for. So, when you're dealing with balancing games and things people say, oh, the game balance is out. No, there's no such thing. What that means is somebody hasn't done this and worked out that, maybe there's something wrong. That's why I'm doing it. So we're getting about 18,000, and it's staying at around 18,000, 86 to 57. Damn, that's... If it can carry on doing that, oh, 100 different. Yeah, it's only 100 difference out of that. Okay, let's do a little calculation. Show you what I mean. So printf this gives a difference of... I don't have absolute, do I? Doesn't matter. And that would be a %d I'm going to have. Because this is an interesting thing about integers. So it's going to be... So it's divided by attempts times 100. Yeah. So we have... Doesn't matter which way round you do it. Success minus fail divided by attempts and then multiplied by 100. I can put a bracket around them to make sure everything goes in the right order, and that should work. So I get the difference, I divide it by the attempts to get 1%, and then times by 100 to get 100%. Yeah, that's right. Okay, let's try that. And I've forgotten that. That's it. Done. Okay, let's run. Yep, as I thought, difference is 0. That's exactly what I expected. So if I was to reduce it though, over, say, 100 times, it might give a different story. Nope, still 0. In this case, because it is 0. Oh, that was a bad example. 4 and 5, it should be 1. I know the difference is 1. Yeah, it should still be 1. So we can catch this thing out. God, I can't even catch it out. Right, out of 100 attempts, the difference is 2. I think I need floating point mass here. It's not doing it right. Yeah, the attempts is taking it below 0. So that needs to be a floating point calculation. Oh, God. Okay. Only need one part, don't I? So, I'm going to cheat. It's going to do that. It's going to complain at me. Don't do that. That's old school. Right, let's try floating point. See if I'm right. Yeah, I am. There we go. It actually comes out with 1. So that was a problem. So if you're using... This is something about dice rolls, probability, and some... This is a little heads up when testing. When you're testing something like this, where it's a percentage chance of happening, you should never ever do a low amount of test. 100 tests is no good, as you can see. What it will say is you got it wrong. It's got 2% variance. That's what that means. That 2, it means 2%. Yeah. How to deal with that? Well, you have to roll more. It's simple as. You can't do that smaller a base. Put it up to 1,000. So if a player plays for 10 minutes and has 100 dice rolls, within that 10 minutes he's going to have a 1 to 2% variance. Okay. But after an hour or so, what's he going to experience? Variance? Well, it's going to drop below. It's going to drop to 0.15. So you can get it any lower than 0.15. That's pretty high still. 0.12. That's a close one. You're aiming for 0.1 or lower. And to get 0.1 or lower, You have to roll the dice more. So let's try it now. There you go. We're now down to 0.002, which is way below 0.1. All I did was add a 0, you know, so we're up to 10,000, are we? A lot, anyway. But the variance just disappears into a black hole. And that's what you've got to be careful of. You're better off using human judgment rather than using a calculation saying, oh, it's come out to 0.01, variance is okay, it's below 0.1, we'll pass this and let it go into the game. Don't do that. Look at where the variance trips up and then work out how many times the dice are going to be rolled and how long it takes to get to that variance. That's the point. How many dice rolls are made in 1 second? You need to know the rate of roll, the rate of dice rolls. Dice rolls per second, maybe. If you don't have that figure, or you don't know what that is, the results from what I've just done there are meaningless. Absolutely meaningless. And that's statistics for you. So when testing and you get your test results, think deeper. Don't think to yourself, oh, ace, I've got a fantastic low variance and everything's hunky-dory. But remember, I double checked myself on dice. So let's go and have a look now what happens. First of all, I have to do an alteration in here and make a save or it won't recompile. So under Amber, in Amber Maths, I was hesitating on dice roll equal to. Well, let's see what happens to our failure score just by putting that equals to in. Where are we up to? Oh, I've got, no, bring it down to, we'll start at 100 again. Okay. Yeah, that'll do. Start at 100, so it has to recompile. Nice. And here we go. We've still got a variance of 1. 1 or 2. Okay. That was expected. Nothing seems to have changed. Now let's have a look at 1,000. Save that. Oh, seems to be working. 29 to 19. It stayed at 1. Interesting. So it's still right. Add another 0. What are we at now? 10,000. Oh, it's 0.1. And fails is close, actually. Is that a better result? Yeah, that's a better result. Okay. Now for the riddle tests. This is where you should be testing them at 100,000 plus. 100,000 rolls of the dice. There we go. 0.03. Thank you. You've done it. But you can see now, 1.8, 1.8. They're very, very close. So that's 1826 versus 1857. And I can repeat that each time, and these should stay together now. Virtually together. 0.18. Well, 19 this time. So it should 18 no, sorry. 1917 to 1899. Look at the variation on that. That has come right down. That's just by looking at these numbers, not that one there. But 0.018 for this amount is pretty good, I must admit. So I am happier with that. How does that look in dice rolls though? Not going back to that. So yeah, there you go. That's it. Dice. Dice, 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 dice. Random rolling of random things and random events can now be successfully done. I will be repeating the printout thing. No, I'm not going to repeat it for double checking. I don't think there's any point to that. But yeah, it all works. I think it is better to have that equals sign in rather than not. I'm just thinking that 1% is better than 2 and 0. Because you can get 2% on this quite easy. 1. 3%. That's bad. 3% the other way. So it's fair. None at all. Spot on. Spot on. There we go. Does the critical success system work and critical failure system work? Absolutely. Absolutely, yeah. You can skew it now by testing your skill levels. Say I have a skill of 17. I do 100 rolls, same skill. Save. And you can see it's massively increased on this differential. So you're getting 17 criticals and 1 critical failure. That's a big difference. And you still can critical fail, remember. You can still roll an 18. Even if you've got a skill of 18, you can still roll an 18. So that's your highest. I want to make sure, yeah, it doesn't go ridiculous, but 24% of the time. Yeah, right. You're getting criticals. That's an interesting idea. That's a crazy idea, but look at the differential. 3 to 27. 1 in 9. Wow. So yeah, the successes work. Do the failures work? So if somebody's got a really poor chance of doing something for some unknown reason, we'll put 4. A skill of 4. We do just keep everything the same. And you see, it does the opposite, where fails goes way up and successes comes way down. But you can still do a critical success. It's interesting. So there you go, yes, it works. It works beautifully because as soon as you go past a threshold, remember that's with modifiers. That's after you've had all the world modifiers for that skill to succeed. Pluses and minus modifiers for situation and the world environment or whatever. Then, yeah, you're going to get a good reflection of what the effective skill becomes, I think. The only thing I haven't added here is what did I call it? Oh, it's on the floor now. The cat's knocked everything everywhere. Just one sec. Okay, what did I call it? Yeah, variation. You can see that the variation is there, but that's only within the critical success and critical failures. We haven't talked really too much about success variance or whatever, so better put that in here. So there's another int here, success variation, and that will equal 0 obviously. So what we do every time we roll these dice, we measure it against the skill. So success variation plus equals, and it's just dice. Dice, skill, effective skill, minus dice, yeah. Effective. Have I not got an effective skill anymore? No, I've just got a skill. Okay. Sorry. Skill. Minus dice. And that gives you your success variation. There we go. Okay, and that should do it. So, printf. What we're going to print in here, if I can see what I'm doing instead of doing that pokey up thingy, thank you. Oh no. Variation in success rolls. And that's going to be a %f, because I have to do it that way. To get a total variation, remember there's pluses and minuses going into that variance. So it is... It's exactly the same as what we did before, isn't it? Yeah. But this time using success variation. Now this one is actually more a useful stat. I want to control that stat more, but to start off with I'm not going to. There we go. Done, 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 done. Run. I just want to see what it comes up with initially. So for 100 attempts, it's come up with a success variation of minus 696. Something's wrong there. Maybe not. Oh right, I've got some... Ah yeah, we've got all the critical fails coming in, haven't we? That's why. Forgot to put my skill level back to a 10.5, which is 11. Should be a test point. There we go. 2 critical successes gives me a bone, you know, so I've got 15 points of success roll, or variation. This is a good measure of how effective that skill is. So the person who's rolling on that skill should have had 15 skill points to spend from using that skill over 100 rolls. That's how you could look at it. The minuses don't matter, you see, that's the problem. You can chop the minuses off to find out how many success rolls, variations in success rather than variation overall. And that's what they usually do, because it skews the stats. So, what they would do to skew the stats is put in if skill, yeah, skill minus dice is greater than 0, then do the following line, but you have to put that in brackets, otherwise it probably won't work. Tab, there we go. Only then, skill minus dice, yep, that's right, it's got to be greater than 0. So this gives you a better picture over 100 attempts what the average person will get in skill points to spend or use within the game system. And this comes down to rate of roll again, of course. This is what you need to control as a game, in a game. So 156, let's try that again. 148, whoops, sorry. 148, next. 125, can you see a pattern? 126, there is a pattern. 151, yeah, that's it. So it is about 125 to 150. So what you've got to do is decide what you want to do with those points as a game maker, and how many points things are going to cost. Yeah, so yeah, what do you use those points for? Additional damage in combat, if you're crafting something, quality of an item maybe that's been crafted. If you're climbing a mountain, is it the distance you climb? If you're climbing a tree, is it the distance you climb? The degree of success should be measured and used in a positive way or a negative way, depending on whether you get plus or minus to your skill. So the greater your skill, the less negative failures will be. The lower your skill, the greater failures will be. Just a thought. Just a thought. Game makers don't do that. Why? Because that's complicated stuff. We have to do something like that to program it. I just don't think we thought about it that much. Let's be honest. Anyway, that's me playing with dice. Thank you for that, because it's one of my favourite subjects. I did a course, actually went and studied probability, just so I could do this properly. Ding, done. And I'll return you back to operations. Operations. You're still okayed. Don't need the dice anymore. And that's it. Oops. I forgot to put my thingy back, didn't I? Sorry. There you go. Everything's still as we left it. Welcome to Amber, OpenGL version 4.5. Nice, and the button works. Brill. I'm done. I'm done with dice. I'm done with talking about it. I think I've flogged a dead horse a little bit here, which is fine. It's me. It's normal. I am going to go through dice now off screen and tidy this up, because it looks awful to me. Yeah, this has to be tidied up. So I'm going to tidy that up. All I'm going to basically do is go to every single if statement and go through the whole lot and do that. Basically. I suppose you could have else ifs here. Don't know. I need to tidy this up. It's wandering too far to the right. I can't put something there. Split this screen in half to view things. So that's me done. You know what I'm going to do next to this code. So I'm going to do that and then write up any extra lines I need to put in, and that's me done. So in the meantime, what I would like you to do is take care, and of course you've got to have fun.